Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today we are going to take a look at the MOVAVI video editor. I will give you my feedback just right now in the beginning, and after that we will take a further look on the software, just so that you can see if it is for you or not. Now let me start by mentioning that the computer that I'm using at this moment, it's the Lenovo Legion 5 Generation 6. This is a beast, really great computer right over here. I will leave a link down below so that you guys can check it out, all the specifications and whatnot, and soon enough I will share my review with you guys. Now, in terms of video editing tools, usually I use Final Cut Pro 10 on macOS. I also use Adobe Premiere and DaVinci Resolve. Now, from time to time I do appreciate to check out different software on the market, and MOVAVI invited me to experience their software and to give feedback to them and to my audience, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, I have a few points that are very positive. I have one point that it's not so positive, but it has a solution, and after that then we will check out the software. Now let me start by mentioning that yesterday I did publish a video about a smart Wi-Fi door viewer that you can check on my channel, and I did use those exact same files to try and reproduce similar video with MOVAVI. 1080, simple timeline with a few b-rolls and so on and so forth, and what I can say is that the software is very easy to use. It is simple, fast, and easy to work with. It has the possibility to add images or videos in b-roll, which is something that I use a lot. Very fast to render. I did a timeline of 4 minutes and it rendered in 30 seconds. So one of the tools that I do find best to render videos is Final Cut Pro 10 in macOS, and that's one of my favorite features, and this one beats Final Cut Pro 10 in terms of rendering. Now, I didn't apply any effects at all. Applying effects, that, as we will see in a few minutes, it will delay that render, but even though the render will be not that slow, at least according to the last video that I did record on my Puchki's channel, it was very quickly. It passed from 30 to 1 minute on a 4-minute timeline, and that's really great. Now, I did find one downside, at least for my workflow, and that has to do with multi-camera management. It is possible, but in a scenario such as today, which I've got this angle right over here, I've got this angle right over here, I've got the screen being recorded, and I'm recording with my microphone that you can't see right over there, the audio. So for all that matters, I've got 4 different angles, one of which is audio. The way that I work on Final Cut, Premiere and DaVinci is that I can synchronize via audio automatically, and after that I just need to select the angles. Right over here on MOVAVI I did find that limitation, which is I will need to do everything manually, and that it's possible. Actually, they have a very good tutorial that I was watching a few minutes ago where they explain how to do it. So if you are a beginner and you want to do it manually for the first time, there is a solution and you can use it. That was the only downside that I found out. Now, that being said, most positive things and the only downside, let's take a look, or a deeper look, on the software itself. So first of all, we will find the media bin right over here. We have the filing port where we can choose the files that we want to put in our project. As I said, this was a video that I did record, edited and published yesterday on my 2 channels, so you can find them right over there. Now, after the media, we will have sounds. I did use one of their soundtracks, which are available to use for YouTube videos and so on and so forth. We also have the same as music tracks, where we can select from several ones. Then we have sample videos where we can choose backgrounds and things such as that. Backgrounds as well. Did I mention backgrounds? Yes, I think I did. And then some frames, and the frames I can put one right over here, for example, and as you can see, it will give us that frame look right over here. Now, besides that, we will also find effect packages. I've got 2 effect packages right over here that MOVAVI sent so that I could test it out, and everything that you see on yellow, especially when we go to these categories right over here, this is from one of the packages and the other package. So as you can see, we have a lot of things that did not come included. These are all included, but the other ones are from these effect packages right over here. One thing that MOVAVI has is an effect store where we can add packages, and that's one of the most positive things if you want to keep things simple and you don't want to waste time doing your animations in Motion 5 or in After Effects or something like that. Then MOVAVI has a lot of effects already that we can purchase from the effect store and then apply right over here in a matter of seconds, and bam, that is it. And we will see a few of them. Now, first of all, we have this menu right over here with a lot of filters. I think we have filters for everything that we need. If I grab one of these, no, sorry, this will take me to the side. Want more filters? Yeah, basic. So if I grab one of these and put right over here, it will give me a different look. And if I put this one right over here, it will give me, in this particular case, a motion blur. As you can see, it will give me a weird effect, but we can see the two effects applied right over here. We also have noise, adjustments, and on the adjustments we have all these colors right over here. Artistic with some weird effects, but for some kind of edits they will be very nice. For my particular videos, which are very simple, as you guys are used to it, for those that are subscribers of the channel, are very simple. The most complicated thing is that I do multi-camera angles very often, but that's basically it. We also have color filters right over here, so if I apply one of these, let's say this one, maybe, it will give me a cooler look. It looks more vintage. It's not called vintage, but it looks a bit more vintage on the image side. And then we have flying objects. Now this is fun if you want to do, I don't know, funny animations. And once again, in After Effects I would take some time. Here I just need to put it in, and there we go. We have snowflakes or things like that right here on the image, which is great. And by the way, if I want to remove the snowflakes, I can just go here and bam, remove that. And if I want to remove the filters, I can also remove and revert to the original. So basically in this menu we will find all these vignettes. Are also a nice dramatic effect in some kind of images. Let's put this one right over here, which is the most common one. Looks nice, and if I go here I can once again remove, and there we go. We also have some options right over here, and that is it on this menu. Then we have the transitions menu, and the transitions menu are between clips. So if I grab this one right over here and put it here, I will have a transition which usually, there we go. Usually I have a transition which is a cut between images and so on and so forth, but here you have a lot of situations that you can use. And of course, let's try one of these right over here between these two, and if I play, there we go, there's another transition. And as you can see, there are, I don't know, I didn't count them, but there are a lot of transitions, so you'll find them right over here. The only one that I use usually is the fade in, fade out, crossfade. There we go. This is the only one that I use, but it's very rare. And this one is, if I put it right over here, crossfade. It's just an image that disappears and there's another one. They will both fade, so that is nice. And sometimes I use, but that is it. You have a lot of them to choose. Then we have the text effects, titles, featured, basic, all these come included, and then these that are in yellow, it will be included on those two packages that we see from the effect store. So if I want to grab one and put it right over here, I can, and I can just edit the text and say anything at all, anything right over here. That is it. And we have a lot to choose from. So one of the things that I do find great is that besides the basic that already comes with a lot, and you can check it out and test it for yourself. By the way, there's a link down below you can check out, you can download for free and use it for 1 week, I think, and that's the best way to evaluate if it's the software for you or not. So we have these texts right over here, and then we have some stickers. Ones that I really enjoy are the emojis, so this is really nice to have included. Then just with a drag I can have an emoji on my picture, and probably I would want to edit this and put it right over here, something like that, and that is it. Ta-da. So there are a lot of things that we can do. We have objects, we have travel. It's by categories, we can do a lot. And once again, my videos don't use this, but if they did, it is a lot simpler than most of the softwares that I use. And lastly, we have also some overlays. Now, in terms of the overlay, we have to select, and let me go to another frame that it's not with so many things. If I choose an overlay right over here, I can just put it on the image and it will give me this effect right over here. So there are a lot of them. These are ones that I do find very useful. I can select and put different images on the same screen right over here. So for example, let me show you an example right over here. If I use this one as an overlay, and if I go to overlay and side by side, it means that I've got two images. If I want on the center, right over here. So we have a lot of features, and sometimes very useful. Then we also have stabilization, which I usually don't use. Most of my devices have stabilization. When they don't have, I put them on a tripod and that is it. But if you need to stabilize your image or footage, here it is. Animation, we have some animations right over here. Let me try this one, which I haven't tried. Let me see what it does, and you will see as well. So, okay, it's an intro animation, okay. Let me remove, so I just removed the animation. Then we have highlights right over here and conceal with the different options. Chroma Key, for those of you that do streaming and you have your green screen or blue screen right on your back, then you can use it. Scene detection, logo, this is useful. Usually when I need to put a logo or a preview for a client, I usually put the logo here and then I stretch it for the whole footage. But in here I can select the logo and it will automatically add that logo. This is nice. Slow motion, I did find nice, and we can go here and it will put this part of the video in slow motion. I would like to see fast forward as well, to make it faster, and I didn't see that option. Let me just try if I can put 120%. Is that possible? No, it will not allow me to put 120%. 100 is the maximum. Okay, so I would love to see here the fast forward besides the slow motion, and then the audio editing. Once again, my audio goes exactly as it's captured by the microphone, no inputs at all, so I will not touch the audio, but you will have synchronization, you have equalizers, audio effects. Let me just check. Please select two clips with sound, place the clips on different tracks or levels and synchronize. Okay, let's try something. Let's create a new project. Don't save. Okay. File import, add files. Now I got curious with this one. So Velica is the one that I've got right over here with 4 different angles, actually sounds, but let me see, trust, okay, Yeti, okay, so I've got 4 different angles right over here. If I drag them all, if I drag this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one will not allow me to. Okay, so I've got 4 clips, and let's select 2 clips with sound. If I select 2, can I select more than 2? Or 2 are the, yeah, 2 are the limit. Okay, so if I press synchronize, let's see what happens with these. Okay, so it did synchronize the 2 clips. That is good. Let's just check something else right over here that we might be able to So if I press this one, and if I press this one, and if I synchronize, I just hope that this one goes to the same spot of this one and this one doesn't move, or else it will not be cool. Okay, it looks like it did. Now if I press this one and this one, synchronize. Okay, we might have a solution here for the multi-camera to see if it works by synchronizing 2 by 2. That's not a bad idea. Okay, let's see if it works. Now, what I want to do is, basically this was a comparison between microphones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this audio right over here, and let's cut this one here and remove the audio, and from here we will want a audio from this one, so I can just remove this part here, and let's do the same around here. Let's cut it, let's cut it again and remove just this part, and right over here we will listen from this one. After that, I'm doing this roughly so that we are as fast as possible, and delete this one, and right over here I can just cut this audio and leave this one, and this one will just appear here and here. Now let's check out what we have right over here. Okay, so I've got 2 microphones at the same time, so I can't have this one. This one will only be able to be here.
Isto de volta com mais ouvidos, espero que estejas bem, mas muito bem mesmo desse lado. E hoje tenho aqui comigo um telefone que está transférica.
Okay, it's working.
Ora, aqui estão já de volta com mais ouvidos, espero que estejas
So at this moment is using the video on the top, and it's using this audio track. So there is a different way of using multi-camera right over here. There we go. We went to this one right over here, and then it will go back to this one. And then finally, it will go to my Zoom microphone, which is this one right over here. So let's put this on pause. Okay, so what I did, said on the beginning, I just discovered right over here at the end. The synchronization of the audio is possible to do and use multi-camera. Now I did multi-camera here with audio only. 4 tracks. One of them is image, which will show you always on the top. We just removed the audio, and then the other 3 was a microphone comparison. But if I can do that with audio, I can also do that with video, which is just great. So guys, and we are going to wrap up. The video is long enough. Hope that the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there. My name is Roberto, Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.